So, Playboi Carti just dropped his new album, I Am Music, probably the most hyped album of the last few years. I'm taking a listen, it sounds amazing, but I thought, how would this sound in a different genre? In this video, I'm going to be taking tracks off the album and recreating them with my beats. Let's go. So my goal for the tracks is to create something that could be played in a club or a festival. Something high energy and just give my unique spin, my unique sound on it. Stay tuned because I'm going to be showing you my in-depth process on how I remix songs. Tons of gems, so follow along so you don't miss out. And by the end of this video, you're going to see the final results. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Ocean. I've worked with some of the biggest artists in the UK and now I've transitioned into an electronic artist. And I'm taking you along the journey with me here on YouTube. Let's get into it. So the first song that I'm going to be remixing is called Crush. Yeah, this one is crazy. First things first, I'm gonna separate out the acapella and then let's speed this up as well. I want to time stretch it and make it maybe just a little bit faster. I think that bit right there, that's probably gonna be the main part of the track. Shawty gonna let me crush. I think even just that ad-lib right there, that could be a good part to take too. Let's throw in a kick and a bass now just to get an idea of where we're taking this. And then we can just repeat that kick all the way over. And I think just towards the end, I'll throw in an extra kick just to mix up the bounce a bit. And then on the offbeat of the kick, I'm actually going to place the bass. So it's nice and bouncy. And literally, we could just have that going throughout the whole thing. But then once we get into the hook, that's where we want to change it up. Bum, bum, bum. And then that will be the bass line for the hook. That's where we can get crazy. I'll just have some variation throughout. Alright, that's sounding cool. Before I put the drums in and start to build out the groove, I think I want to do the melody first because I feel like in this track, the idea that I have for it is probably going to be a lot more melodic than usual. But also with a lot of rhythm in the melody. You'll see what I mean. For the melody today, I'm going to be using some new source. I'm about to put you on some game. I'm going to be using UVI's Workstation. Also, shout out to them for sponsoring the video. So I got it open right now and I've downloaded a few different sound banks that they have. I've been testing it out and they got some really, really cool sounds in here. You've got a pack called Energy for all the high energy stuff. And then one of my favorites as well is the drone section, which is just really nice, long, sustained kind of sounds. So the way that I'm hearing the melodies, something that kind of plays along with the drums, especially with the bass line. This one could be cool. It's like a harp sound. And I'm hearing the main melody to be quite repetitive. So we can just layer this sound with the bass. Just going to give it more high end. And then let's throw some kickstart on there to really make it pulse. And let's just keep building, adding to that kind of rhythmic effect. I like that. Let's put that in. Maybe something as simple as that. Alright, for the melody part we can have that in the verses, but when it gets to the hook and we switch out the bass line, that's when we can add in like another fresh lead just to keep things interesting. So I got this sound called Skrilogy pulled up from the Energy pack. So let's pencil in the melody. So I'm going to throw in this plugin and see if we can find like another pattern within this pattern. That's cool. I think I might go with this one. I like this one. It'll be good as well just to add a sustained note underneath. It usually gives it a bit more tension, a bit more motion. So I'm going to be using that drone section for sure. Ooh, I kind of like that one, to be honest with you. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. So let's put our note on B, maybe just an octave up, and then sustain it. Just in the background, very quiet. There's like a pad / lead sound in the original. Sounded like this. I don't know, that sounds hard. I want to incorporate that into this beat somehow. Oh, this one could be spooky if we put a couple of effects on it. And instead of having it in the hook, that's when we could probably put it in the breakdown. I think for the melodies, that's sounding good. That's a nice foundation, very rhythmic. Sonic Bundle is a comprehensive collection from UVI that gives access to 116 products, including music production tools, synths, effect plugins, sound effects, and so much more. Definitely a go-to collection to boost your creativity with 37,000 plus inspiring presets. If you want to check out the sounds I was just using by UVI, then I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Go ahead, click that and get some cool sounds for your productions. Let's add the drums on top of this now. And kind of hi-hat to go underneath it. And just to fill out the frequencies even more, I'm going to add some loops to this. These are some loops from my own pack. Let's see what we can find. I think that could work. Let's drag that in. Now it's moving. I want to make that rim sound even more prominent throughout. And I think maybe just like one more loop on top of this, just to give it even more energy. Maybe this one. Simple as that. Alright, so I've spent some time structuring it out and adding an arrangement. So let me just break that down for you. The way how I arrange it is just so it's always progression, energy, kind of builds up, comes down, builds up again. So in this beat, one thing that I've done is added crashes alongside snare rolls, and it kind of goes with the pattern of the kick. So for example, as we go into, I guess you would call it a verse, the kick and the crash hit at the same time. And in the breakdown, we've just got some risers, something like this, with a disc scratch, something to just make it spread out afterwards. So altogether, this is how the remix is sounding. So it's driving, it's moving a lot. Then we get into the break. So now we've got the build up coming. Feels more tense now. Hey. Good energy in this one and everything is moving. Alright, so the next song that I'm going to remix is Philly with Travis Scott once again. This song right here, such a banger. My favorite on the album for sure. Here's how it sounds. Let's go. Bend it over, touch your toes. Let's go. And Travis Scott is gliding on this one. Brand new eyes and brand new nose. Let's go. And I'm actually going to slow it down. Let's go for 140 BPM this time. My favorite BPM. And to be honest, it sounds clean. I might just put a tiny bit more reverb on it. Also just a tiny bit of delay. I'm going to use Relayer by UVI on this one. Ooh, I have an idea for a melody to go underneath this. I think this would work underneath it. I think I might need to just pitch these down low. For the melodic elements, I'm going to have that further along in the track. There's that cool little sound here. I think what I'm going to do is just chop that out, and then we can have that actually repeat throughout and with a bunch of effects, because we want it to be more like a background kind of sound. We don't want it to be like an actual in the middle of it. Let's turn up the reverb even more and relayer even more. And then when we have the melody come in, I'm thinking we can do a repetitive kind of vocals. And then right at the end is when we'll stop the melody, and it could be like, let's go, and then bang, that's when the drop's gonna come in. This one is shaping up. This one is shaping up nicely, I cannot lie. And then I'm even thinking with this melody layer right here, we can have the automation where the filter starts to open up towards the end. Alright, that's something cool so far. Let's add some drums, some bass line, and just get the overall idea going. So for the bass, I'm hearing like doom, 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 doom. Maybe something like an 808. And let's throw in some drums. Maybe this one. Oh, yeah, I'm liking that. That's working. Let's just throw some sidechain on the bass so the kick can come through. I want to add some more sounds to those drums as well, like an open hat, maybe even a clap. Alright, that's sounding cool for that section. Let's add in some more in the breakdown. I feel like it would be good to have a drone underneath here. And then as we get into this section, maybe even like another instrument, another sound, just so it doesn't get so boring. So I found this really cool sound called Annabelle in the energy section. Sounds like this. I want something repetitive. Ooh. an idea that just came to me. That classic break, you know, the one that goes like, what? Yeah, what? Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what that break is called, but it's used in like everything. This is it. Think break. I feel like that could work in that hook section. Let's add that in as well. So let's take those 2 chops and then we can just have that go throughout. Alright, so I structured it out a little bit more. As always like to add in a crash as we introduce some stuff. I also added in as we go in the break as well. A snare roll, a sweep that starts to sweep upwards, and also with some crashes there as well. And then also just some more automation. So on the main loop, I've got the relayer that is getting more and more wet. And the keys, the reverb is dropping down. Let's go. And then the drums start to filter down. Let's go. Let's go. And now I'm just going to skip ahead a bit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Yeah, I'm feeling this one. Vibey. Even though I didn't use Carti's voice on this one, just Travis Scott's vocals alone on this. So fire, so clean. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and also check out this video right here where I show you step by step on how to remix any song and we take it to the club to test out.